Hello everyone. In today's class we will discuss regarding the fourth unit of retail management, that is retail marketing mix. So under retail marketing mix, the second P, that is nothing but pricing. So in pricing, one of the important topic is nothing but pricing strategy or the approaches that can be adopted by the retailer or a retailing organization. So first strategy that can be adopted is penetration pricing. So it is a pricing strategy where the price of a product is initially set at a price lower than the eventual market price to attract new customers. See, this penetration pricing usually will be adopted by the newly launched business or the newly launched product for the main reason just to get into the market and to be notified or to be get recognized by the customer. So once the retailer gets the recognition from the customer where the retailer will be selling the product at a lower price, then the product or the retailer or the service will be strongly fixed in the minds of the customers. The strategy works on the expectation that customers will switch to the new brand because of the lower prices. Penetration pricing is most commonly associated with a marketing objective of increasing market share or sales volume rather than to make profit in the short term. The price will be raised later once this market share is gained. So overall, when we talk about penetration pricing, is nothing but the newly launched business or the retailer who want to make profit, who make wants to make profit, we may not be adopting penetration pricing, but the retailer who has got the main objective of increasing the market share or the sales volume will be usually going for the penetration pricing. So the second type of strategy that can be adopted is price skimming. So price skimming is the practice of selling a product at higher price usually during the introduction of a new product when the demand for it is relatively inelastic. I can give a best example of these cell phones. So cell phones, when they are usually launched into the market, see, before launching the new cell phone into the market, the hype will be created by the retailer in such a way that the price will be the price of the product or the price of the service will be fixed in such a way that it will be more attractive and it will be more affordable by the customers, and obviously the price of the product also will be high. So initially, in that type of situation, when the new product or the new cell phone, the example what I mentioned, is being launched into the market, the price will be set in such a way that it will be eventually it will be high. The main reason only is to make profit in a short term sale. So price skimming is the practice of selling a product at higher price, usually during the introduction of a new product when the demand for the product is relatively inelastic. This approach is used to generate substantial profit, as I told you, to increase the profit during the first months of the release of a product, usually so that a company can recoup its investment in the product. Eventually, a company that engages in price skimming must drop its prices as competitors enter the market and undercut its prices. Thus, price skimming tends to be short-term strategy designed to maximize profits. I gave an example of these cell phones. So usually when these cell phones are being launched in some electronic portals or e-commerce websites like Amazon or Flipkart, if you initially observe the price of the product, it will be eventually very high when usually it is freshly launched in the market, but gradually when the sales increases, initially when there is demand, the prices will be very high, but when gradually when the sales increases or the product is being sold at the competitor and the other competitor gets entering into the market, the price of the product have to come down gradually. So that is what called as price skimming, where the main objective of price skimming is to make profit in a short term. Moving on to the third strategy that can be adopted is leader pricing or loss leader. So loss leader pricing is an aggressive pricing strategy in which a store sells selected goods below cost in order to attract customers. Firms following this strategy believe that the loss arising out of the sale of such selected goods may be made by additional purchases of profitable goods. So leader pricing is nothing but the loss that can be incurred, or that is being borne by one product, by the sale of one product, can be covered by the profit that is being earned by another product sold by the retailer. So that means by selling one product at a lower price, whatever the loss or whatever the profit that the retailer have lost, he will be gaining the profit in the sale of another product which is being sold at a higher price. That is what called as a leader pricing or loss leader. So it is an aggressive pricing strategy in which store sells selected goods, not all the goods, selected goods below cost in order to attract customers. So it is nothing but the profit that is being lost by the sales of one product will be gained by the sale of another product. The third strategy is nothing but price bundling. So price bundling is also called as package deal pricing. That means several products are offered in one package for sale, so that when it is combined in one unit will be often marked at a reduced price compared to the sum of their separate purchase price. For example, I can give you an example of this package tours. So in the package tour, for example, if a customer wants to go for some Ooty Kodaikanal, take example, the package may be somewhere around 7 to 8,000, where it includes the transportation cost. It will be including transportation cost, food, hotel charges, and almost all the expenses like these transportation will be covered in that package. If the same customer had gone to the had want to go for Ooty Kodaikanal separately, without under the package transportation package or the tourist package, it would have costed him more than 8 to 9,000 or more than 10,000 for the transportation cost, for the hotel, for the food, etc. So the customer will be choosing for this package rather than choosing for these services separately. So a marketing play in which several products are offered for sale in one combined unit, that is often marked at a reduced price compared to the sum of their separate purchase prices. There is another example mentioned here. Fast food meals and cable television connections effectively use this technique by putting multiple products together to make a more attractive deal. This is also called as package deal pricing. The next fifth one is regarding odd pricing. So odd pricing is nothing but a round figure or a round number will not be priced for the product, just like 100 rupees or 200 rupees or 1000 rupees. The product or the service will be priced in a odd number, that is 99 or 199 or 299 or 169, like this. So it is a psychological pricing where the customer will be having that psychological thought that if it is a round number it will be a burden, or if it is less than if it is not a whole number, or like 200 or 300, like 199 if it is priced, or 299 if it is priced, the price of the product is somewhere lower. The psychological pricing is based on this theory. So it is based on the theory that certain prices have a psychological impact. The retail prices are often expressed as odd prices, a little less than the round number. I can give you best example of these Bata retailers. So these Batas, if you observe the prices of the product, of whatever the product they are selling, whatever the shoes or the footwear they are selling, nowhere, none of the product they are selling will be of round number. The prices of the product will not be of whole number. For example, any shoes, office shoes or any sandals, that if you are purchasing, it will be a odd number which will be priced. So that means it will maybe 999 or 599, like this. So that is what called as odd pricing. You can give a best example if you are, when you are writing the same topic for the exam, you can give an example of batas. So the next one is regarding multi-unit pricing. So multi-unit pricing is nothing but it is a strategy of offering a lower price per unit for the purchase of two or more products of the same type when bought together than when units are bought singly. So there is an example. Company may charge 200 for a t-shirt. If two t-shirts are purchased together, shop may charge him only 370. I can give another example. If you are purchasing, for example, a textbook. If you are purchasing only one textbook out of 6 textbooks that is required for your BCom exam preparation, you may be charged something less than excuse, it may be charged less when you are purchasing entirely all the 6 subject textbook. If you are purchasing singly each and every unit, you may be incurring more cost or more amount, more expenditure. So that is what called as multi-unit pricing. There is another example here. By when a company is offering you a t-shirt, it will be offering for you at 200 rupees. If the same t-shirt is by being purchased with another t-shirt, instead of charging you 400 rupees, it will be, you will be charged 370 rupees. So the next strategy is everyday low pricing. So it is very simple. EDLP is nothing but a strategy of retailer to charge lower price than other retailers in the market continuously for the goods sold by them. So the other, when compared to the other retailers, this retailer will be selling the price, will be adopting the strategy of selling the product at a lower price when compared to the other retailers in the market, for the only reason to attract the customers. The next one is one price policy, single price policy. It is a pricing strategy in which the same price is offered to every customer who purchases the product under the same conditions. A one price policy may also mean that prices set and cannot be negotiated by customers. For example, I can give an example of these. For example, these life insurance policies or the insurance policies. So whatever the amount that is being fixed for a package or for an insurance policy, the same thing will be applied wherever you go, whichever the nook and corner of the country you go. The same policy, the policy will be charged for each and every customer, irrespective of the status of the customer or whatever the negotiation he or she does, irrespective. So it is a single price that is being offered. The product or the service will be offered at a single price, irrespective of the situation or irrespective of the customer. The next one is regarding variable pricing. So variable pricing is a pricing strategy where a business offers varying price points at different locations or point of sale. This is a common approach used by retailers when the cost of offering certain goods and services and the level of market demand justify it. The objective is to optimize overall profit by offering the best price at each point of sale. The name itself tells variable pricing. The price of the product is not fixed, it keeps on varying at different points of sale. The next strategy is regarding markup pricing. So markup pricing is nothing but the amount of the it refers to the amount of profit that a seller adds to the cost of a product to arrive at his selling price. So markup is nothing but the amount of profit that is being added to the cost or at the cost in which he have bought or he have purchased the product or service from the wholesaler or the producer, in which the profit or the markup will be added with the cost of the product to arrive at selling price. For example, if a seller buys a product at 5 rupees and sells it at 10 rupees, the mark is 5 rupees. That means the profit what we is adding for the product is what called as markup pricing. The next one is regarding product line pricing. I can give an before I explain this point, I can give an best example of these cell phones, the same cell phones. For example, if you are purchasing a basic model with some 8 GB or 4 GB memory space, it may be somewhere around 12,000. Take example 12,000. If you want some more extra characteristics to be added with the product, like more data space, like 32 GB or 64 GB, like that, if you want more data space to be held in this cell phone with some other features, with some extra features, like a different color or attractive color for the product, or some camera specifications, like this, the price of the product again may be more than 12,000. May take some example of 16,000, it may be. That means for the same, the product will be same, but at the different models of the same product, the price will vary. That means it is a product strategy, pricing strategy to be used when a retailer has more than one product in a line. Example, most computer manufacturers have basic models, business models, and premium high graphic and or gaming models. Each of these model levels has its own price point. The next one is regarding, next strategy is manufacturers suggested retail price or list price or recommended retail price. So according to this point is nothing but whatever the manufacturer he is specifying the price, or he is recommending the price at the price the product to be sold, only at that price the product or the service have to be sold to the customer by the retailer, not more than the MRP. Nothing but manufacturing retail price, not more than MRP the product have to be sold. So according to this, MRP of a product or MSRP of a product is the price recommended by the manufacturer. Retailers are not supposed to sell the product at a price other than the one mentioned by the manufacturer, with an intention is to help to standardize prices among locations. So what, this is nothing but the MRP that is being mentioned on the product. For example, if you are buying a tea box, for example, which is 229 rupees, that is being mentioned as MRP by the manufacturer, not more than 229 rupees the retailer can sell the tea box. That is what called as MRP or MSRP. The next one is regarding geographic pricing. The name itself tells geographic pricing involves setting different prices for different territories because of different transportation cost. So, take example, if the product that is being manufactured in India, India, and if the same product is being sold in India, comparatively transportation cost may be very low. If the same product have to be exported and have to be sold in some international market, the other cost that can be added along with the product will increase, which in turn will be increasing the price of the product. And in that location, in that international market, when the product is being sold, with the price of the product comparatively to the Indian market will be very high. The next one is regarding value based pricing. Very important. Value based pricing is the practice of setting the price of a product or service at its perceived value to the customer. This approach does not take into account the cost of the product or service nor existing market prices. Value based pricing tends to result in very high prices and correspondingly high profits for those companies that can persuade their customers to agree to it. For example, I can give an example of these some iPhones, Apple iPhones. For example, if I'm having a Samsung Apple iPhone with me, it is a kind of pride, or it is kind of reputation for me when I'm carrying that phone, because maybe the features whatever that is being offered by the phone may be same or similar, or some extra features may be offered by that phone when compared to the other cell phones. Cell phone is cell phone when it is Apple iPhone or Samsung or whatever it is, but the reputation what I carry when I am holding or when I'm using the Apple iPhone will be different when compared to the other cell phone models. That means the value what I am drawing or what I am gaining by using that particular product is what called as value based pricing. And in this strategy, according to this strategy, the price of the product will be comparatively high when compared to the other products, other similar products, and in turn the retailer or the manufacturer also will be making good profits by such sale of the products or services. Coming to the advantages of value based pricing are increased profit and increased customer loyalty. But the disadvantages are more than advantages. That means niche market, not scalable, or the competition will be comparatively high. And the last one is labor cost. Moving on to the last strategy of pricing is markdown pricing. So markdown pricing is nothing but it is reduction in the original selling price of the product, which is called as markdown pricing. For example, there are three different, for example, before I go on to the types of markdown pricing, for example, if I'm selling for example, if I'm selling some electronic goods like a refrigerator or TV or any air conditioner in e-commerce website, take example in e-commerce website, the price or other expenditure what I am incurring when compared to selling the same product in a retail store will be different. For example, it may be a transportation cost or it may be marketing cost. All these things will be comparatively low when I'm selling in a e-commerce website than selling the same product in a retail stores. So when I'm still selling in a e-commerce website, I'll be offering the same product at a lower cost than that is being fixed in a retail store. That is what called as markdown pricing, selling the product or a service at less than the original selling price. So there are three types of markdown pricing, that is temporary markdown, permanent markdown, and seasonal markdown. So temporary markdown is a temporary reduction in the selling price of an item to stimulate its demand or to drive a competitor out of the market. So permanent markdown are created to remove a slow selling item from the inventory, whereas seasonal markdown is applicable on products that are primarily sold during a particular time of the year, such as clothing, gardening, gardening products, sporting goods, and holiday specific items may see price reductions at the conclusion of its prime selling season. So these are the very important pricing strategies where that can be adopted by a retailer. And to be mentioned, this is one of the important question for 14 marks, that is section C. So I repeat again, some of the strategies are penetration pricing, price skimming, leader pricing, price bundling, odd pricing, multi-unit pricing, everyday low pricing, one price policy, variable pricing, markup pricing, product line pricing, manufacturer's suggested retail price, that is MSRP. Next is geographic pricing, value based pricing. Last one is markdown pricing. So these are the pricing strategies. Thank you students. Thank you everyone.